Chops Garage is proud to be sponsored by Car Vertical, the largest online database of vehicle information. Use the link in the description down below to find the true history of your vehicle or one you're about to buy. So the Freelander's just gone. It's gone off on the trade deal. No problems at all with that transaction because, as always, I described it to the nth degree. He came along and he was happy that everything matched the way I described it. So off he went. Happy bunny. Had a phone call first thing this morning. I put the Skoda Octavia up last night. Finally got it listed. Put it up last night about 10 o'clock by the time I'd done everything. Came in this morning. I had a phone call at 8:30 and then at 9 o'clock. Chap's put a deposit down on it. Wants it for his son to go back and forth to work. They are a fair distance away. Like I say, he's only put the deposit down at the moment. So obviously deal's not done till the money's in the bank. But again, I did a video of this panel by panel, which he loved. And so they know exactly what they're getting. It's already serviced, it's already MOT'd, it's already valeted, and it's staying inside so that can go straight out the door if they have it. So that would be a nice quick turnaround. Now I've listed up the Hyundai as well. I've had a lady call me this morning. She needs an auto. She'd seen the advert for the Fabia, but is also interested in the Hyundai as well. I think she might well up her budget when she sees the Hyundai, because although the Fabia is a great car, that's, you know, the metallic paint and the super low miles is very attractive with that. So fingers crossed we get rid of one of the autos tomorrow. Good news for you fans of the Ginger Wonder. Scott is in tomorrow. Scotty, we've got in tomorrow. I bunged him a message. Hopefully he comes in tomorrow and doesn't decide it's too flipping freezing. I want to tackle the Chevy Spark with him. Get the door changed over. I also want to take the boot off and do that bit of rust behind the boot where they all go on the Chevys. And tidy that. What I'll probably do is treat it and then sort of mask it off nicely and black stone chip it, because you don't really see it with the boot going up and down. It's just something I know is there and I want to get it done. So hopefully we can get that done with him. Ideally we'll get the little Peugeot done at the same time. Whack the two small cars in there to fill this space up. Hopefully a car will be gone over the weekend. Get those two small cars in here ready for when the Kia comes back and we get the Kia in. And I'd like to get Scotty in again and the two of us tackle the Micra get together before Christmas as a little bit of a Christmas present to you guys, because I know you keep going on about getting the Micra done. So yeah, I'm focusing on the small cars because I think I'll probably trade out the Discovery. The Jaguar's going off cheap, isn't it? The Ignis is hanging around a bit. And then, dare I say it, will almost be caught up. We've nearly got the Sportage back. The boys down at Motorworks done a service on that. They've just got to do the MOT in it. The reason they haven't done the MOT yet is during the service process they pre-checked for the MOT, so they've done a few things that would have been advisories in advance, so it should go straight for its MOT. And I should be getting back the Toyota. I've got to get an update on how the test drive went, because remember they couldn't test drive it after fitting a new engine because they needed the MOT at first, and I've not heard anything since. It's been a couple of days, so they've gone quiet, so we need to find out if there's been a problem with that or not. And I'm supposed to have a viewing on the X-Trail as well. That X-Trail I've got, it's been a bit of a pain in the bum, to be honest, because it's a cracking car. It's immaculate. You couldn't find a better one, I wouldn't have said. And I've had a lot of interest in it, but all the people on that seem to be a bit flaky. I don't quite know why. I really don't know why. Sometimes you just get that with cars. Some cars just attract lots of flaky people. I don't know why. Anyhow, what was I doing now? I was going to get another video out for you, trying to keep this daily stuff up to scratch. Yeah, but we should get some nice content with old Scotty boy when he comes in. I think I'm going to try and get a video out for you every day. The only day I can't say I'm going to get a video out for you is probably Sunday, because we all need a day of rest, don't we? And hopefully we'll be back at it on Monday. Oh, for any of you that were interested in Discovery, any of you traders that were interested in the Discovery, retail on Auto Trader 16,400. I'm going to let that one go for 13,000, so it gives a big fat margin for anyone who wants to get that trade, and it'll look good on the right forecourt. That'll be a nice motor. I've been driving it the last couple of days. I really do like it, but I don't need a truck that big. I want to get back in my old Suzuki Swift Sport. Loaded up and off to our that's the Alpha loaded up and off to our subscriber with Adrian. Gave it a wash last night in the freezing cold. It's such a nice looking car, isn't it? I would like another one, but I haven't got the time to be dealing with it at the moment. You cannot beat a Rosso Red Alfa Romeo with red stitched black interior, can you? Anyway, enjoy. I think you're prepping it for a customer, aren't you? So have fun. Right, exciting times, guys. I've got the paperwork from the Fiat. I'm trying to obviously hide people's information. but we've got the original bill of sale, guys. Can you believe that? To £25,477.13, given £650 part exchanging for an Alfa Romeo, details of which are at the bottom of this invoice. So the original bill of sale, that's cool, isn't it? Supplied by Fiat at 1 to 3 Colney Hatch Lane, London. Fiat Barnet, is it? Is that Fiat Barnet? I don't know. I'm not a London boy. But yeah, London car. Battery 2017. Starter motor 2016. Former keepers 2. So 3 owners in total. Acquired on the 5th of the 4th, 2003. So it's a low ownership car as well. Clutch replacement in 2010. Full cam belt service in 2000 and... Oh, what was it? Hold on a sec. 2006, a total cost of £500. I'd like to be able to get cam belt done on that for £500 now. So now we're into a load of receipts from a specialist upcountry. 2016, it had a service and a rocker cover gasket and sort out some screen jet washer problems and an engine wind under the bonnet. So I don't know what that was. I don't know what did to solve that. 2016 exhaust systems. That's why that looks fairly new. I mean, I know 2016 is still a long time ago, but it didn't look like the original one we looked, did it? That's why cam belt still looks fairly new as well. 2015, a cam belt done and reset central lock-in. Total bill £685. So it's had 2 cam belts in its life. 2015, I would say that's someone's bought it as a bit of a project because they've done quite a lot here. They've done oil and filter, bonnet release cable, handbrake cables, rear brake pipes, drop links. So this is presumably after the car was sat for a bit. £967. 2013, we've got a radiator and a thermostat and a rocker cover gasket. It likes its rocker cover gaskets, isn't it? 2013 injector. 2013 wiper window mechanism. 2006, this is a bill of sale in 2006 for £3,790. No part exchange, cam belt to be replaced. Oh, advised cam belt to be replaced. So he's obviously sold it cheap under the basis the person buying it puts a cam belt on it. All the old MOT printouts, which you don't really need now, do you, with the online stuff. So overall, a decent amount of history for the period. When did we think it's been sitting? We think it's been sitting for the last 4 years, don't we? I think we said. So, you know, decent amount of history there. Like I say, evidence has had 2 cam belts. We still wouldn't run on the one that's on the car, but probably safe to run it down to the garage to get the cam belt replaced. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. A lot of the time with these cars, you get nothing at all. So that's a decent amount of history, and I'm really loving the fact we've got the original bill of sale. You're actually in the country again, then?
Yeah,
you're not...
well, you know, it's a bit.
How many months do you have to do in the country now?
The thing is, the way it works is, obviously I'm a heating engineer, so you blast it out during the winter and then go off in the summer.
Right, okay. Well, look at it. Well, forgive me everything, because he's just bought me McDonald's.
Big Tasty.
A Big Tasty.
They're like £7, you know. That's what I think of you.
Yeah, well, look at them. Anything other than a Big Tasty, that ain't
Well,
going
I've got your Diet Coke because you figure.
It's all about balance, guys. It's all about balance. At this point, I'm going to shout out to Royston. Royston, you know who you are. The rest of you probably don't. Royston's a dealer we chat to back and forth. He's had a bummer of a day trading today. Absolute bummer of a day trading. I'm sure he won't mind me relaying his experience. Obviously, I won't give any particular details. But Royston sold a 2009 Freelander at a really good price. I think he undersells his cars personally. He'll tell me that's the only price he can get for him, but I think he does move so many cars because he does such reasonable price on them. New MOT on it, all serviced, all ready to go. Good example. A young lady came from miles away. I'm not going to say exactly where because if anybody knows this person, it'd probably give it away straight away. But I am talking miles away from him, like I think 5-6 hours, something like that, crazy distance. Other end of the country, basically. Came, got the car, took it away, had it for a few weeks. I think something like he'll tell me if I got it wrong, something like a handbrake. Had a problem with the handbrake, took it into garage and said that typical, oh, while you're in there having a look at that, can you check the rest of the car over because I've just bought it? Well, for whatever reason known to themselves, they decided to strip the body kit off the side of the car, the Freelander. And when they did that, they found some surface rust underneath the car and said that all needs to be dealt with. I think they started poking it and did get a few holes as well. It needed to be welded. Now, obviously, with an MOT, they don't remove the body kits for MOT. It's not a requirement. So Royston wouldn't have been any the wiser that stuff was there. I think they came up with a ridiculous bill that they wanted to charge and do the rest of the stuff, and the girls decided to reject the vehicle. But rather than sort of get them to put it all back together again and get the car back to him again, all the stuff's been left off of the car, and she's been told, Royston's been told, not only are we not going ahead and putting it back together again, we're going to charge you storage until you come and pick it up. So, quite rightly, he's argued a toss on it, which I would do, and it's got to court, because at the end of the day, why should he travel all the way down to go and pick up a car that they've torn apart and haven't even put back into the same condition as he sold it? Unfortunately, that's not gone his way today. The judge has said within 30 days, the customer can reject the vehicle for any reason at all. So, no reflection of the age or vehicle, or the fact that he's offered to get the work done, at a reasonable price point, and he has to still go and pick it up as well. So he's got to foot the cost of going all the way there. So it's somehow his responsibility that she decided to buy from a ridiculous distance away. I do think that's unfair. I think fair enough, reject the vehicle. That seems fair enough to me, as long as it's coming back in the way it was as well. So get all the body kit back on it again, say it's not for me, but you bring it back. I don't really see why it should be a case of him having to now go and collect the vehicle as well. So, and that again, as I say over and over again, is why you go and buy off of a driveway, you go and buy privately, or you buy off a driveway dealer, or you go buy privately. It's all well and good you people shouting about how cheaply you can get those cars, but you don't have anywhere near the kind of protection and level of comeback that a dealer has. And that's the kind of expectations you're dealing with. I also had an experience yesterday where I spoke to someone who's been forced to take a car back a year and a half after it was purchased. So what happened was they had a Land Rover with a 2-litre diesel engine in, one like the one that's been replaced in my what have I got, Discovery. So they had the same problem pretty much for why that engine was replaced, but the person had it for a year and a half. The car went out with a full service history, but because the person bought it through finance, the finance company decided to argue the toss, because what normally happens is the car breaks and people start refusing to pay their finance. So effectively the finance company owns the vehicle, and the finance companies are ruthless. So they come after the dealer and say the car's failed a year and a half down the lane, we're sending an engineer out. The engineer's come along and gone, the vehicle's failed due to poor servicing, despite the fact it's got a full service history, and they have forced him to take the vehicle back, because apparently the fact that it was poorly serviced would have been present at point of purchase. So how much margin do you want a dealer to make in a car if he's going to be responsible for it up to a year and a half down the road on a used vehicle? Absolute madness. So you've got someone who's got to go from the top of the country to the end of the country for a car that was a couple of grand that he'd put out with a brand new MOT, and he's got to pick up the bill for going and fetching it, even though he didn't decide to sell to someone that far away. And you've got somebody else being responsible for a car a year and a half after someone's put thousands and thousands of miles on it, and he's still responsible for it. Utter madness. Looks like a late night tonight, because the customer that bought the Octavia wants to come and pick it up tonight, but they're 3 hours away, not going to be here till 7, which probably ends up meaning 7:30 or more on a Friday, possibly even 8 o'clock. So we've got to do our last few checks on the car before it goes out. So obviously this has had an advisory-free MOT, it's had a service, but there's a few checks just to make sure some obvious stuff is okay before a car goes out. Might be of interest to some of you flipping cars. So first thing I do, check tyre pressure. If I know they're doing a journey like this gentleman is, where it's going to be dual carriageway motorways, I up the tyre pressure a little bit, get a better fuel economy. So I do it on the manufacturer's higher setting. So go around and do that. Check that the washer fluid bottle is full. Obviously check the oil level one more time, just for safety. I don't think there's anything happened. Then I have a checklist that I go through. And I fill out that form. So when I do a handover, it confirms things like that whether the car has got 2 sets of keys or not, whether the spare wheel kit is present, whether the locking wheel nut is present. It also confirms they've been allowed adequate time to look over the vehicle, they've been allowed adequate time to drive the vehicle, there's no engine management lights on the vehicle at point of pickup. It confirms the warranty length, the warranty time, and then I get them to sign that off before they take it away. And none of my cars leave without fuel as well, so this has got half a tank of fuel in it. I think it had quarter in already, but I've just put a £20 can in it to take it up to half a can of fuel, especially like when they come and pick it up, it's going to be dark, they don't know the area. The last thing you want to do is go and looking for a petrol station, isn't it? So half a tank of fuel in this 1.6 diesel will get them a long way. I don't like rushed pickups. I like to have a bit of, a few hours beforehand to make sure I've double checked everything, got all my paperwork together. So when they come in, I'm not holding them up, faffing around doing my paperwork. So I'll get on and register the warranty straight away, because if there was, for any reason, they didn't take away warranty-wise, do allow me to cancel it and refund it. So I'll get the warranty set up. So again, that means that they're ready to go as soon as they come here to pick up the car. It gives them breakdown cover as well. So they'll have that cover immediately as they drive off. Touch wood, to date, we haven't needed that, but you never know. So like I say, all that paperwork's ready to go. So all that has to be done is a payment. It's not I'm trying to rush them out the door. I just don't want to be rushing through the paperwork, missing something with them. When someone stood over your shoulder, you tend to rush through things a little bit. So my top tip is get all your paperwork done well in advance of the pickup, and make sure you have that check over, handover slip as well, because people can lose locking wheel nuts. A month later they might ring you going, where's the locking wheel nut? And you go, well, you signed off to say you had it when you took the car away. I always show them that it's physically there as well. I don't just obviously say this hasn't got locking wheel nuts, luckily enough. Anyway, but it's nice to get the car turned around that quickly, so putting a bit of a late isn't too much of a problem. I'm sure I've got plenty of stuff to be getting on with. Now, yes, I know I'm in a 4x4, but I'm going to call it for today, because my issue is more about people coming in the other direction. And this is Saturday, obviously. Sorry, I didn't state that, did I? Saturday on the way into work to meet Scotty. I've called it for the day because I've just given him a call and said, don't even try and set out, mate, because this is a main road here in Devon, and there's loads of back lanes we have to go out which aren't gritted and haven't been driven on before. And even in the 4x4 Discovery, I've been slippy sliding about the place. It's just not worth the risk. I'm confident that I can control the car well. It's just people coming in the other direction, whether they're driving correctly or not. It's just sometimes it's not worth the risk. So I'm gonna go home, tuck up with the family, watch some Christmas movies, probably do some editing and some my paperwork. So yeah, I think that's the best move. I've messaged the only person I had viewing a car today to say I'm going to close. I don't think they would have come anyway, to be honest. Just stopped off in town on the way back to pick up my in-laws stuff from the bakery, save them coming out. Don't know why, strangely satisfying to see the Mitsubishi ASX that we had all the problems with, getting the young lad to his job. Saw him go in the opposite direction. I mean, obviously he's decided he needs to go, and he's probably employed and doesn't have much choice in it. But yeah, oddly satisfying to see the car that he sorted for him, that's designed exactly for this kind of weather, obviously 4-wheel drive, going and doing its thing. Not that ASX, the silver one. Yeah, I don't know why. Pleased to see the cars I've seen on the road, getting people where they need to get. So yeah, I mean, he picked that up a week or so ago since we did the ABS fix on it. So, and he's a happy punter.